50 years of safe flying. And so today we're all here because we've got a guy right here today who's met that goal. In fact, he's met that goal and passed it. We were a little late giving him the award. So with all that being said, let's start with Tracy. You got.
Yep. All right, thanks. So today we're here to recognize the gentleman who owns this airplane right here. Who's that? And he's part owner in this airplane here. So, Will and Coates, if you will just make sure that Walter doesn't take off and run away right now. There we go. So, as everybody here knows, Walter's... Walter's been a mainstay in the flying community here for a while. In fact, on Friday, this past Friday, the 24th, he celebrated 65 years as a licensed pilot. Quite an amazing accomplishment. 65 years. And not only just as a pilot, but let me read through some of what that entailed with Walter during that time. And oh, by the way, when he did his check ride, at the age of 17, on his 17th birthday, he did it in a champ. A champ that he's well, not the same champ that he's part owner in, but a champ. So it's funny how things come full circle now sometimes in life as well. So after he got his pilot's license, Walter worked as a crop, he did some crop spraying, some charter flying, some jump flying. He was putting himself through college. He also became a licensed skydiver. In 1964, became a D-rated skydiver, the advanced rating. It's the highest license. And personally knows and has jumped with a lot of the pioneers in the skydiving community over the years. After he graduated from college, then he went into the Army as an officer, was deployed to the Dominican Republic in 1965. With that uprising. After that, he went to Special Forces qualification training, became a Green Beret, went to Vietnam, served us proudly there, came back from Vietnam, and went to that great conservative institution up in Charlottesville called UVA, and became an attorney. After that, Walter then worked with the Attorney General's office in Virginia, moved into the Commonwealth Attorney's office where we are familiar with his work. Retired from there. Throughout that time, he continued to serve in the National Guard with the Special Forces unit up in Richmond. Then went over to Averett and was teaching at Averett, teaching law and aeronautics at Averett. Throughout all of this time, he's been extremely active in aviation. And we all know people who work in aviation, and after a while they kind of lose their enthusiasm for aviation. Walter's been out here the last couple of days consecutive. He was out yesterday flying his airplane, and his plans to fly it again today. Flies more than probably most of us in this group today here. His enthusiasm is still strong today, after 65 years of being a licensed pilot. He has an ATP multi-engine, a commercial single-engine sea and land, multi-engine sea, instrument rotorcraft helicopter, and commercial glider. He's a flight instructor in airplane single and multi-engine, helicopter instrument, instrument airplane, like I said, instrument airplane and helicopter. He's a ground instructor and a advanced and instrument ground instructor. So he's got all the letters. He's got all of the letters after his name with that. Throughout all of his time working in the area, he served as an instructor. There are some people here who have, a lot of people here who have endorsements in your logbook from Walter. He's done that at all phases because of all of his ratings. From tailwheel endorsements to sign-offs for actual licenses. He flew gliders up at Newcastle with the Blue Ridge Soaring Society, and many of you probably remember the yellow streak that was parked right back here behind us. And he competed in aerobatics in the Mid-Atlantic region here for 20 years. So tremendous depth and breadth in his background. And so we're all here to recognize you today, Walter. And Tim, I'll turn it back over to you. Thanks.
Thank you. Walter. You gotta come too.
Somebody got a hold of Walter. You're not kidding.
I got one letter here I want to read to you from the manager of Greensboro Fisto. Before we do that, Tracy talked about it a little bit, so let me just touch on it a little bit more. Walter got his CFI in 1989. He got his ATP in 1997. He got his commercial rating in 1960, and I wasn't even alive yet. He got his student pilot certificate in 1956. That was March of 1956. He got his private pilot in June of 1957. He also has a multi-engine, helicopter rating, glider rating, ground instructor for most of those same products. Mr. Penn, the FAA's mission is to provide the safest, most efficient aerospace system in the world. We use many tools to make this happen, including recognize the individual people that have helped to make our aerospace system great. We recognize the great pilots by honoring them with the Wright Brothers Master Pilot Award. The Wright Brothers Master Pilot Award is presented to those airmen who have 50 years or more of practicing and promoting safe aircraft flight. The Greensboro Flight Standards District Office is proud to present to you the Wright Brothers Master Pilot Award. Your professionalism as an airman has contributed to the safety of our national airspace system and has enabled safe air travel by many Americans for more than half a century. Enclosed are 2 pens, one each for you and your spouse, a certificate blue ribbon packet, normally I'd have this out of the envelope, but we weren't going to let you know it was happening today. This is the actual blue ribbon packet. This is all the records that the FAA has on Walter. And you can see it's fairly thick package because he's done a lot.
How many of those are violations?